So I realized that you have word problems in this packet on page 16 and 17. You might be having trouble reading them. So I am going to read you the word problems and do a little review of how we could solve them. So 16 and 17 in the packet, if you're having trouble with it, here we go. Number 1 says, Lori needs at least 12 liters of water to fill a water cooler. She has a container with 4 5500th liters of water, a container with 3 2500th liters of water, and a container with 4 8500th liters of water. Does she have enough water? And it wants you to use estimation to decide and then explain why you're confident enough to estimate. I am giving you permission, if you are watching this video, to not use estimation and to just solve it with the actual numbers. But I'll show you both ways right now. So we start with, I love thinking about things in picture form, right? So we're going to start with what Lori needs. It says she needs at least 12 liters of water to fill her water cooler. Okay, so I have a marker, I have a whiteboard. Look at that, whiteboard magic. All right, so here's her water cooler. I'm not an artist. So say this is a thing of water she wants to fill. And she needs 12 liters in there, okay? She needs 12. All right. She has a container, so this one's empty. One of her containers has 4.55, 4 5500ths, okay? She has another container with 3 2500ths, okay? And her last container has 4 8500ths, okay? You see those? So she needs 12. She has these 3. Let's make sure you can see those decimal points. She has these 3, okay? And she wants to know if they'll fill up her 12 liters. If she pours all these 3 things of water into here, will it fill it up? All right, so basically think about that. If you're pouring this one in there, and then this one in there, and then this one in there, what operation does that sound like to you? Putting this and adding this and adding this? That's right, we're gonna be adding, okay? Now they ask you to estimate. So if you want to estimate, you could look at 4 5500ths and say, that's like 4.5. That's tricky whether we say that's more like 4 or more like 5. So that could be 4 or 5. If we're kind of estimating, we're getting rid of the decimal part, we're rounding to the nearest whole, okay? 4 8500ths, that's pretty close to 5, okay? And 3 2500ths is close to 3. So that's what they're asking you to do, is say, if you estimate, what do you think? Will she be able to fill it up or not? So if we estimate and we say 5 plus 3 is 8, 4 more, well, that's 12, right? So I'm saying 5 plus 3, we estimated that 4 8500ths is about 5. That's because that 8 is going to make that 5 round up, okay? 3 2500ths, well, that's about 3. It's a little more than 3, but we're going to estimate round to the nearest whole number. And then 4 5500ths, technically it rounds to 5, but if you want to be on the safe side, you could call it 4 because it's right in the middle, okay? So we have 5 plus 3 plus, let's use the 4. And if we add those up, 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 4 more is 12. So using our estimate, would we be able to fill that? We have 12, we need 12. So if we use our estimate, we should be able to fill it, okay? If you're not comfortable with estimating the decimals yet, then I'm giving you permission. I don't know if I have permission to give you permission, but I'm giving you permission to just add these 3 decimal numbers, okay? And not worry about the estimation. So if we add the exact amounts, if we get rid of the estimation, when I'm adding decimals, I need to make sure I line up the decimal, right? So we have this number with the decimal. The next number, I'm going to put my decimal first because I want it lined up. Before the decimal is the 4, and after the decimal is the 55. And then this number, I put my decimal, before the decimal is a 3, after the decimal is 25. Okay? So I'm adding 5, 5, and 5. That's 15. So I write my 5, carry my 1. 1, 8, 5, and 2. Oh, that's a lot of numbers to add. But I know 2 and 8 is 10. 5 more is 15, and 1 more is 16. I bring my decimal down because it's just lined up when we're adding, right? When we start multiplying, it's different, but adding, line up the decimal. So now I have 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. Well, 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. And 9 plus 3 more, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I end up with 12 and 65 hundredths. So do I have enough to fill my water cooler? Indeed, I do. Because I have 12 and a little bit more. That's what that 65 hundredths is. Okay, so actually it'll fill it up and some of it might overflow. All right, so on these word problems, you're looking at what you need to do to those decimal numbers, what the word problem is asking, and then if you want to estimate it, that's great. If you remember how to round and estimate, that's great. But I'm giving you permission to just add the exact amounts if you would like and find the exact answer, okay? If you've taken the time to watch this video, you get to do it the way you want, all right? Okay, I'm going to read the other word problems to you. We're not going to do them all together, but I want to read them to you so that you can have the problems read aloud in case you are having trouble reading them. All right, we just did number 1. Number 2, Nia wants the total weight of her luggage to be no more than 50 kilograms. She has 3 suitcases that weigh 15.8 kilograms, 17.42 kilograms, and 16.28 kilograms. Is the total weight within the limit? So she's going to take all 3 suitcases and then she's going to total them together. What does that sound like to you? We're totaling, so we are, that's right, adding, okay? And you need to see whether all 3 of her suitcases together is more than 50 kilograms. She doesn't want it to be more than 50 kilograms because when you go on airplanes, sometimes they don't let you bring heavy luggage. All right, so we're adding those together and see if it's more than 50. All right, number 3. Omar measures one machine part with length 4.392 centimeters and another part with length 6.82 centimeters. What is the difference in the length? That right there is your key. He has one part that's this long, one part that's this long, and we need to find the difference. And the example Mrs. Bell always uses, my friends out there, you know, if I want to find the difference between my age and say Aiden's age, what do? Do I add our ages together? No. If I want to find the difference between my age and Aiden's age, then I would subtract, okay? Take my old age and subtract Aiden's youth, and you get the difference. So when we find the difference between the 2 lengths, we're subtracting. Okay. Number 4. Kyle wants to buy a hat for $5.75, a t-shirt for $7.65, and a keychain for $3.15. He has $16. Does he have enough money? Okay, so he's buying a hat, a t-shirt, and a keychain. He's gonna bring them all up to the counter, and then he has $16 to pay for it. Does he have enough money? So you need to know how much those things cost together, right, to see if he has enough with the $16. All right, number 5. For his hiking club, Ricardo is making a container of trail mix with 3.5 kilograms of nuts. He has 1.78 kilograms of peanuts and 0.625 kilograms of almonds. The rest of the nuts will be cashews. How many kilograms of cashews does he need? Okay, so I'm actually going to show you this one. So he's making trail mix. He's making trail mix with different kinds of nuts, okay? He has 3.5 kilograms of nuts. So all his nuts together is 3.5. 1.78 are peanuts. Okay, whoops. 1.78 are peanuts. Okay. 0.625 are almonds. And then this missing amount is cashews. Okay, so we've got some peanuts, some almonds, and an unknown amount of cashews. Okay, those are my favorite nut. All right, so an unknown amount of cashews. We know altogether he has 3.5. So if you know this and this and this, all together is 3.5, how would you figure out that missing amount? It's a two-step problem. First, you have to know what you have. So first we'd put together those two. Put them together, remember, we're adding. Then you take the total and subtract what we have. So add first, then subtract. Add first, then subtract. Okay, and that gives you your missing amount. All right. Number 6 says, suppose you want to be sure that the total cost of 3 items does not go over a certain amount. Can you use estimation only to solve the problem? So you're in a store, you have 3 things, and you only have $10. If you just estimate how much each thing is, will that help you make sure you don't spend more than $10? And I'll leave that for your brilliant brains to figure out, okay? If you have any questions or concerns, you can comment below or email me or Class Dojo me or Google Voice me, any of those items, okay? I hope you guys are doing well. I really, really miss you.